Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we get cracking with video number 1 of 2. Now, there's going to be video number 2 coming out later tonight. I do think it's going to be quite busy, so the Premier League prediction video is actually going to be coming out tomorrow. Make sure you guys are here for that. I'm going to give you my predictions. I might not go from 1 all the way down to 20. I might go relegation, forget mid-table, and then the key positions. Or I might just give you a brief overview of what I think might happen in the middle, although it doesn't really matter. But that video is coming tomorrow, so make sure your eyes are glued and peeled. And for that to happen, you need to do 2 things, which is to make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell to be notified on top of that once I upload. And as well, check out all my socials. Links are in the description on screen for you right now. My personal socials, so at Younes Talks _, for example, Instagram, and my Younes Talks Football socials at Younes Talks Football on Instagram. Same goes for Twitter at Younes Talks and at Y Talks Football, and TikTok. Links are also there in the description below. So make sure you're following on all of those, and let's get cracking. Big news this morning, hence why I had to divert the prediction video to tomorrow. If not, the Premier League predictions would have come today. But I can't ignore this. I'm not going to leave it till tonight, because if not, we're going to be here for an hour later. So we're not going to do that. Starting with Kepa. What is going on with Kepa? Wow. Okay, didn't expect this. Here it is. Breaking news, Thomas Tuchel wants Kepa, and Bayern are talking to Chelsea. Kepa can well imagine a move. The first talks have already taken place. Next steps decided in the coming days, because Bayern also has 2 others on their list. This is quite significant news. Now, we're going to plough through everyone that said what they had to say in relation to Kepa, because this is key significant news. It is legit. It is true. So, let's get into it. This is from, once again, Kerry Howe, Bayern and Football Page. Lead us away. FC Bayern is dealing with Kepa Arrizabalaga from Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel recommended him. He can well imagine a move to Munich. The first talks have already taken place, but the next steps will only be decided in the coming days. Because Bayern has 2 other options on the shortlist in addition to the Spanish goalkeeper. On top of that, Mate Moretto came out with Bayern and Chelsea are talking about Kepa Arrizabalaga, and the transfer could be a loan with a mandatory purchase option. In the next few days, the German club plans to present its first official offer. For Thomas Tuchel, it is the first option. We had Fabrizio Romano say Bayern Munich have added Kepa Arrizabalaga to their shortlist for the new goalkeeper. Chelsea and Bayern will speak soon to understand if it is possible to agree on a formula for a transfer. CF Bayern, so Christian Falk, says Bayern Munich are in talks with Kepa Arrizabalaga. Florian Plettenberg then says yes, Kepa is one of the candidates for FC Bayern now, confirmed, as there's the possibility to loan him. Talks took place as per Kerry Howe. Kepa and Rulli top on the list. Bono remains a candidate, but it's not hot at this stage. That's basically everyone and their mother coming out with news that Kepa and Bayern Munich is on. And it's happening. Talks are there. We've started the negotiations. Things are in place. So, what do I think? Kepa going to Bayern Munich. First and foremost, Thomas Tuchel. I think we now, if you haven't already, I didn't really take much notice to it. But yeah, Thomas Tuchel's talent ID, not so great. But he's already made it perfectly clear that he doesn't really want to be the main focus on transfers, and he just wants to coach. And that's the issue he had at Chelsea when Todd Boehly tried to literally inject him into the flipping decision-making and go, what players do you want? Which I guess is the right way to go. You have to involve the manager. If the manager doesn't want to take part in those sort of things, then it's a negative. I always would like to have the manager's option and the manager's opinion, because it's the manager that's going to be implementing his play and his style and his tactics and his system. So, yeah, talent ID, not looking great. But for Chelsea's perspective and for Chelsea's requirements, this is great news. However, we've all established that Kepa isn't number 1 material in the long term for Chelsea Football Club, right? But right now, if this was earlier on in the window, I'd be like, yes, snap their hands off immediately. You can take Kepa. But the fact that we've only got Sanchez in, albeit I do think Sanchez, if it were to be Sanchez versus Kepa at Chelsea, I think Sanchez would end up taking the number 1 spot with time. I think that would happen. Out of the 2 goalkeepers, who's going to complement Pochettino's Chelsea better? I think it'd be Sanchez. Not just for goal stopping ability, for shot stopping abilities, but I mean for what he's going to be doing on the ball rather than just off it or when he has to make a save. So that is why I think it fits. But when you look at Sanchez, is he number one material as well? You have to question. So in the short term, yes, when you look at the competition, okay, but there's still the thing in the back of our heads that we need to go and get a top goalkeeper. And whether Sanchez turns into that, who knows? We've got to give a chance. But right now, if Kepa were to go, Sanchez is our only viable goalkeeper. If something happens to Sanchez, we have to turn to Bettinelli, which I guess that's what he's there for. And I guess there's always risks, right? But you never know. You never know. So that's the only negative in this whole saga. You remove that negative, this is a great deal for Chelsea. Absolutely great deal. Now, how much? There's talks of a loan with an option to buy. I'm sorry, but that doesn't fly. We need a loan with an obligation to buy at the minimum. If not, come in with a bid and take the player permanently. How much should Chelsea take? No less than 30 million. No less. Stocks on Kepa, you can say, have gone down. He's not 70 million worthy any longer. Let's be honest. We only done that in the first instance because we bought out his entire contract and gave him a 7-year deal. That was the only reason. The fact he was young too. Now he's got 2 years left on that same contract. And it's Kepa, and everyone kind of knows what to expect. Bayern Munich coming in, we should try and, put the price up a little bit. Not in the same way that Brighton have tried, but got to get the Brighton digging. But in terms of 30 million, in terms of a value we would accept, okay, let's ask for 45. See what happens. See what happens. And try and come to a negotiation. Hopefully that would happen. If they were to offer that, I'd say, you know what, take the money and go. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do with Sanchez and maybe Bettinelli for the season and then go from there. If we have to recall a loan, let's say Slonina, we can, I would think. Hopefully that option is there. But that makes this deal viable. And if this deal is viable and it's a good amount of money, Thomas Tuchel comes in and saves the day for Kepa to leave. One thing is his wages will get taken off the wage bill, which would be fantastic because he's on quite significant wages. That's why Edouard Mendy wasn't happy, because if not, he would have agreed a new contract. But the fact he wasn't going to get close to what Kepa was getting meant he had to go, and he's getting it in Saudi now, best believe. So it's all pointing in the direction of, yes, this would be perfect for Chelsea and the perfect time to let Kepa go, bearing in mind an opportunity might not come again, right? Can Sanchez go all the way for the season? Let me know your thoughts down below, and let me know your thoughts on Kepa possibly going to Bayern Munich. I think now it's actually viable, and I think I do see this deal possibly happening. I can see this happening now. But how much is it going to be? What's the deal going to be? Let's wait and see. Hopefully it's not just a loan with an option. As I've said, we should turn that down immediately. Come with the cash, Bayern Munich, and we will talk. Now let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know your opinions. Let's move to the latest on Tyler Adams. Here it is. From The Athletic, Tyler Adams continues to be close to a move to Chelsea. Also, Fabrizio Romano saying, understand Chelsea are now actively working on Tyler Adams' deal. Talks ongoing between clubs and personal terms being discussed. Again, not linked with Caicedo. Separate deal as Moises insists since Sunday he didn't play as he wants to leave and join Chelsea. So that is the latest on Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams, this deal, I think, is very imminent. I think it's a very easy deal to do. 20 million release clause because of relegation. Here you go, Leeds. Thank you very much. Personal terms won't be a problem coming in. Now, Tyler Adams is currently injured. This is one thing we've got to take into consideration as well. I don't think he's out for too long. I think it's just a hamstring issue, so maybe a couple of more weeks or whatnot. But if he were to come in, he won't be able to play immediately. Maybe after match day 3 or 4, he can play. I'm guessing. By that time, he should be in the squad. So that's the latest on Tyler Adams, and that's the latest in terms of how long it could possibly take. Caicedo, we wait and see. Nothing to do with Caicedo in this video. Maybe later on if we get Here We Go. Who knows? Who knows? Be here for video number 2 later tonight, and we'll see what happens. Now, a loan that is now looking like it's finally going to happen. We discussed this yesterday, and here it is. Casadei. Casadei and Leicester. Here we go soon, as revealed earlier. And he was quoting his previous tweet of understand Leicester are closing in on Cesare Casadei loan deal almost agreed with Chelsea. The agreement is at final stages despite interest from Genoa. Maresca key to make it happen, as Leicester hope to get it sealed very soon. So that's the latest on Casadei. Fantastic. He's getting that loan and it's going to be to Leicester. Casadei is going on loan to Leicester City. I just hope that the level at Leicester hasn't dropped. I'll be paying close attention. And hopefully they're going to be in that race to try and get promotion, try and get promoted back to the Premier League, hopefully win the Championship, if I'm being completely honest. Why? Because that's going to be competing at the highest level of the Championship. That's going to be Casadei operating at the highest possible level he can at Leicester City. And as long as he's doing that, fair enough. For the loan move, it makes sense for his development. So hopefully that's going to be the case for him. And I wish him the best out there. Fingers crossed it all goes well. Let me know your thoughts down below on Casadei to Leicester City. Now, this guy. We speak about this guy once again. I want to stop speaking about this guy, but I can't. Because everyone else doesn't want to stop speaking about this guy. And everyone's in the same boat as us now on this guy, that we've got to keep talking about this guy. Do you get what I mean about this guy? Here it is, this guy. Inter Vice President Zanetti says Lukaku has betrayed us. We're very disappointed. We expected completely different behaviour by Romelu as professional, but also as a man, he told Gazzetta dello Sport. On top of this, Juventus fans on Tuesday evening outside the Alliance Stadium in Turin, saying, Lukaku, stay in Milan, we already have a second goalkeeper. Holy... I mean, Juventus, look, he's not in Milan because they've thrown him out too, right? So that's not happening. He's not staying in Milan. He's been thrown to the Wolves in Milan like he's been thrown to the Wolves at Chelsea, and like you're throwing him to the Wolves now. We're all in the same boat here. I've never in my years of existing, right? And bearing in mind, today's my birthday, just to let you know. So video later on tonight might be a little later than usual because I'm not going to be in. But when I am back, I will drop the video number 2 for you. But in all my years, right, of living on this rock, I've not seen a player sabotage himself in the same manner as this. Absolutely incredible. This guy is I don't have the adjectives. I don't have the words, the vocabulary to describe this guy. I can only call him this guy. That sums everything up. This guy. Levi Colwell, thank you so much for saying this guy in the moment that we had a little bit of doubt about you, because that's kind of caught on as the catchphrase for this guy, because that's the only way I can sum up this guy. Unbelievable. It's astonishing. How do you burn so many bridges? And all he had was a lighter. He didn't even come with a flipping flamethrower. He had a lighter. And he still managed to burn every single possible bridge that there is to burn. Incredible. Incredible. Inter Milan, thrown away. Chelsea, thrown away. Man United, thrown away. Everton, thrown away. Even West Brom, possibly, thrown away. But now Juventus, he's not even there yet and they've thrown him away. I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing how this is going to end. Where is Lukaku going to end up? At this rate, he's going to end up playing for Dulwich Hamlets. Go and look at what division they're in. I don't understand. Incredible. I don't have anything else to say. I have nothing else to say on this guy. Let me know down below your thoughts on what we've just seen. Let me know. That's it. We end it there. We move. Marcos Alonso came to Instagram earlier on today, and we got to show you this. We got to show you this. Now, if you weren't aware, Tottenham played yesterday, and they played against Barcelona. Now, by the 81st minute, Tottenham were winning 2-1. Incredible. Playing really good football. Ange Postecoglou's vision is starting to show at Tottenham. They're playing really eloquent football, and it's looking nice against Barcelona as well. And they were on the press, and they were bypassing those presses. Very impressive for Tottenham. Never seen them play football like it, right? Okay, 81st minute, they're winning 2-1. How does the game end? 10 minutes later, 4-2. It's Marcos Alonso. Marcos Alonso on Instagram, proper Chelsea, says, some things never change. Barca 4, Tottenham 2. Yeah, there we are. What a lad. What a lad. What a lad. I mean, look, it was Tottenham's final pre-season game. It's only right that Tottenham, in their final pre-season game, as they've not done so already, have to train on bottling, right? Bottling the result needs to be worked on. You have to make sure you do it correctly. At Tottenham, it's a requirement. So when it's the last game of the season, and it's the last minute of the last game of the season, and you've not practiced, it's the only opportunity to do so. So that's what Tottenham did. They practiced their bottling and it worked. They let him 3 goals in 10 minutes and they let go of the lead. They lost. So, Bottlers FC, ready for the season. Ready for the season. Looking forward to day one, Tottenham. Looking forward to day one. Obviously, I'm joking and I'm kidding, but it's good banter. It's Tottenham. It's typical. They lost 4-2. So, we move. It's the only team that can let 3 goals in the last 10 minutes after playing so well. I mean, goes to show. Now, before we wrap up, let's get into what's happening elsewhere. Big news happening elsewhere. Manchester City first. More on Lucas Paqueta. Man City have approached West Ham with verbal discussion over £70 million package. Not enough. Deal not easy, but City will try again. Guardiola, always been fan of Paqueta. Player keen after he picked Rock Nation Brazil as new agents recently. So he's decided to align himself with Jay-Z's Mandem. Okay. The same Mandem as Lukaku. Good luck, City. Good luck. But Paqueta, look, overall, I'm surprised. I didn't expect City to target Paqueta, or a player like Paqueta. Although, when you look at Paqueta at West Ham, he's decent. He's decent. Now, I'm sure Pep Guardiola has a plan. He doesn't just make moves for anyone and everyone. He has a plan. However, how is Paqueta going to fit into this Manchester City side? Going to be very, very interesting to see. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing where this is going to go. And will Man City try and pay over the odds? Will they comply with West Ham, or will they get themselves a deal? How does Paqueta fit into Manchester City? Let me know down below. Man City are in the moment of trying to let maybe a couple of players go, although it does seem like they're going to be keeping a few. It does seem like they want to keep Bernardo Silva and they've offered him a deal. Same goes for Kyle Walker, who we thought would go to Bayern Munich, but that doesn't seem like it's happening now. So Man City might be actually, in fact, keeping quite a lot of the players we thought would end up leaving. Mahrez was the one that left, and you thought, okay, it's going to start a trickle effect. A few of them are going to go now. Gundogan's left, but I thought there'd be more. It's looking like it's going to stop there. And if it stops there and they've already got replacements in and they're looking to get more like Paqueta, they might actually be in a good position. They got Gvardiol in defence. Man City might actually end up better off than I initially anticipated by the end of the transfer window. So there's one thing buying new players, but there's also keeping your most effective ones. And as long as you do that, your level will be there. So Man City, fair play. Now, let's go over to Manchester United. Looks like they took my advice. Well done, United. You listened. Well done. Here it is. Man United have agreed a £30 million fee with West Ham for Harry Maguire. Personal terms not expected to be an issue. Maguire had wanted to stay at Man United, but chance of regular games given England's status has proved compelling. On top of this, David Ornstein says West Ham reached agreement with Southampton to sign James Ward-Prowse. Saints set to receive fee in of around €30 million. 28-year-old expected to sign 4-year contract. West Ham and midfielder keen to complete move ASAP. Ward-Prowse plus Maguire key deals for Hammers. Fair play to West Ham. Looks like in the very, very last minute, they've managed to get themselves in order. And they've managed to get themselves, doing exactly what they needed to do. So, in that aspect, fair play. Because it looked like David Moyes was very, very angry with them and looking like it was going to properly kick off. But it's not. And now it seems like all is in place and West Ham are starting to get their players in. On top of this, though, as I said, Man United took my advice. They took my advice. 30 million accepted for Harry Maguire. Well done. Well done. You took 30 million, you paid 80, you've made a loss of 50, not the end of the world, you move on. Now, Maguire to West Ham, I don't want to say this will be a bad move. Now, you're probably going to be surprised. Why? When you look at him at Leicester, he looked quite effective, although he was alongside Wes Morgan, and we got to put that into perspective. Morgan on his side did actually help him. However, he did play well. Now, will he find that at West Ham as compared to Man United, where the pressure is on, you got to compete at a higher level, you're competing for other things, it's levels. At West Ham, maybe Maguire might find his feet again, maybe, but he's been so out of his feet for so long that it's just at this point, it's probably become second nature for him to make a mistake. So, I don't know, but 30 million, look, Man United, I know you've made a loss, as I've said, but fair play. You took what you can take. I would have done the same. So there's that. Now, West Ham, being able to let go of Paqueta, for example, who goes straight into an attacking midfield over at Man City, as we said, how is that going to fit? Let me know. But that money, all of a sudden, being translated to getting James Ward-Prowse and getting Harry Maguire. So, 2 positions sorted out, whilst you look at James Ward-Prowse and coming into that midfield, brings a couple of good aspects there. James Ward-Prowse coming from Southampton to West Ham generates that midfield, adds a little level to what West Ham normally expect of themselves. They can add a little nice touch. But on top of that, set pieces, free kicks, James Ward-Prowse is the guy when it comes to that sort of thing. And that can help West Ham in situations where they claw back a point or they even take 3. So it's a good deal, I think, for West Ham. What they're looking for, their level, I think this does bump them up a little bit, and fair play. So that's the latest business with West Ham, Man City, Man United. Let me know your thoughts down below in that love triangle. And I will see all of you later on tonight for video number 2. As I said, possibly a little later than usual, but I will be here. Do not worry. Make sure you guys are subscribed. That is the way to make sure you guys are going to get notified on that, by hitting the bell. So do those 2 things now. Hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell to be notified. And on top of that, do not forget to check out all my socials. Links are in the description. At Younes Talks _ Instagram, my personal one. At Younes Talks Football is the Younes Talks Football Instagram. Twitter, at Younes Talks is my personal one. At Y Talks Football is the Younes Talks Football one. And TikTok, at Younes Talks _ is my personal one. No content on there, although that's coming pretty soon. And Younes Talks Football at Younes Talks Football is the channel one. So make sure you guys are there for all of that. Much appreciated, people. And I will see all of you tonight for video number 2. Have a good one, people. See you lot then. Take care and peace.